The date is March 24th, 1991. The Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena is brimming with anticipation as the Rockers make their way to the ring at WrestleMania 7. Marty Jannetty, alongside his partner Shawn Michaels, bounces with an infectious energy that has the crowd hanging on their every move. Their opponents, the fearsome duo of Haku and The Barbarian, await them. What unfolds is a masterclass in tag team wrestling, with Jannetty on top of his game. His dropkicks are crisp, his timing is impeccable, and his connection with the audience is undeniable. The Rockers will emerge victorious tonight, and for all intents and purposes, Marty Jannetty is living his dream. He is performing on wrestling's grandest stage, part of one of the most innovative tag teams in professional wrestling history and helping usher in a new era of athletic excellence in the World Wrestling Federation. Yet less than a year later, on January 12, 1992, everything would change. In a moment that would become infamous in wrestling history, Shawn Michaels would turn on his longtime partner on Brutus Beefcake's barbershop interview segment, delivering sweet chin music before throwing Jannetty headfirst through a glass window. The betrayal was shocking, but what followed was perhaps even more tragic. While Michaels would ascend to become one of wrestling's biggest stars, earning the moniker Mr. WrestleMania, Jannetty's career would spiral into a cautionary tale of wasted potential and personal demons. But to understand the tragedy of Marty Jannetty, we must first understand his journey. Born Frederick Martin Jannetty on February 3, 1960 in Columbus, Georgia, Marty grew up in a working-class family where athletics came naturally. He developed into a standout amateur wrestler, earning a spot in the state championship tournament for 3 consecutive years during high school. A gifted, all-around athlete, he also excelled in boxing. After graduating, he took his wrestling prowess to Chattahoochee Valley Community College before transferring to Auburn University, only for the wrestling program to be discontinued. Weighing his options, he briefly considered a switch to football, but fate intervened. Veteran wrestler Jerry Oates recognized his potential and persuaded him to step into the world of professional wrestling, personally guiding him through the transition. Jannetty launched his career in September 1983 with Mid-South Wrestling, and 2 months later he moved on to Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Competing under his real name, he squared off against formidable opponents like Super Olympia and Mr. Olympia, steadily honing his craft in the ring. By March 1984, Jannetty had aligned himself with the National Wrestling Alliance Central States Territory. Throughout his tenure, he competed in both singles and tag team bouts, partnering with a range of talent including Bulldog Bob Brown, Dave Peterson, and Tommy Rogers, with whom he formed the tag team the Uptown Boys. However, it was in late 1985 when Jannetty's trajectory would change as he joined forces with fellow rookie Shawn Michaels. Together, Jannetty and Michaels formed the duo known as the Midnight Rockers, swiftly capturing the Central States Tag Team Championship from the formidable Batten Twins. During his stint in Central States, Jannetty also found himself in the ring with the legendary Ric Flair, challenging for the coveted World Heavyweight Championship. In 1986, Jannetty and Michaels made the pivotal move to the American Wrestling Association. There, they rapidly garnered a reputation as a dynamic and innovative tag team, captivating audiences with their seamless, high-flying maneuvers and unmatched athleticism. The Midnight Rockers etched their names into wrestling history by capturing the World Tag Team Championship twice, first toppling Buddy Rose and Doug Summers, and later overcoming the Midnight Express for their second and final reign. Their dominance also extended into securing the Southern Tag Team Championship on 2 occasions. Vince McMahon, ever vigilant for new talent to elevate the World Wrestling Federation's roster, quickly took notice of the duo's meteoric rise. In 1987, Michaels and Jannetty made their federation debut as the Rockers, shedding the Midnight moniker, but preserving the same high-octane energy that had captivated audiences in their previous promotion. Despite their undeniable potential, the Rockers' initial tenure in the federation was short-lived. After just a few weeks, their promising stint came to an abrupt end. Their reckless behavior off the clock, marked by excessive partying, ultimately overshadowed their in-ring talents, and the team was fired by the federation. This would provide the first glimpse into the personal issues that would later plague Jannetty's career. It was a setback, but not a fatal one, as they would return to the AWA and continue to refine their act. The next year, in 1988, Vince McMahon, always the opportunist, decided to give the Rockers a second chance, this time with the condition that they elevate their professionalism both inside and outside the ring. The Federation, in the midst of its golden era, was dominated by iconic figures like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and the Ultimate Warrior. Yet, amidst this collection of colossal personalities, the Rockers brought something fresh, a breathtaking fusion of athleticism and precision teamwork that set them apart from the pack, sparking a new wave of excitement within the promotion. The Rockers made their official television debut on a June 1988 edition of Superstars, where they showcased their talents in a dominant squash match. Their first pay-per-view appearance came later that year at the 1988 Survivor Series, where they were part of a high-stakes 10-team tag match. During the chaotic bout, the Rockers made an immediate impact by eliminating the Bolsheviks before ultimately being taken out in a double disqualification amid a fierce brawl with the Brainbusters. This heated rivalry escalated into a match taped for Superstars, but once again, chaos erupted before the contest could truly begin, resulting in a double disqualification. The animosity between the two teams fueled a string of house show encounters, each one delivering electric performances that left fans in awe. One standout battle took place on January 23, 1989 at Madison Square Garden, a match so thrilling it earned a spot among Pro Wrestling Illustrated's 50 Greatest Matches in their 10th anniversary issue. In a hard-fought contest, the Brainbusters secured a controversial victory when Arn Anderson discreetly held down Marty Jannetty's leg, allowing Tully Blanchard to score the pin. At WrestleMania 5, the Rockers took on the monstrous Twin Towers, using their speed and agility to counter the overwhelming size of Akeem and Big Boss Man. Jannetty and Michaels dazzled early with missile dropkicks and high-flying offense, but the power of the Twin Towers soon took over, isolating Jannetty and pummeling him with relentless double-team attacks. Despite a valiant comeback and a flurry of double dropkicks, Boss Man caught Michaels mid-air with a devastating powerbomb, setting him up for Akeem's Air Africa splash, sealing the victory for the Twin Towers. Subsequently, in the spring of 1989, the Rockers found themselves in a heated feud with the fabulous Rougeau brothers, ignited by a brutal sneak attack in which the Rougeaus used Jimmy Hart's megaphone to bust open Shawn Michaels. This rivalry became the catalyst for the Iron Man match concept, with the two teams competing in 5 grueling battles, none of which were ever televised or commercially released. The tension culminated on August 28, 1989, at SummerSlam, where the Rougeaus joined forces with Rick Martel to score a victory over the Rockers and Tito Santana in a high-energy 6-man tag match. In late 1989, the Rockers reignited their rivalry with the Brainbusters after Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard dropped the Tag Team Championship to Demolition. The feud took an unexpected turn at Survivor Series when Blanchard was abruptly fired after failing a drug test, forcing Bobby Heenan to step into the match as Anderson's partner. Despite the shakeup, the bad blood between the teams culminated in one final showdown at Saturday night's main event, where the Rockers triumphed over the Brainbusters in a thrilling 2-out-of-3 falls match, closing the chapter on one of their fiercest rivalries. At the 1990 Royal Rumble, both Jannetty and Michaels entered the chaotic 30-man battle, each looking to outlast the competition. However, their run was cut short, with Jannetty eliminated by the cunning $1 Million Man. 3 months later, in April of 1990, Jannetty and the Rockers found themselves locked in a fierce rivalry with the newly arrived Orient Express. The feud ignited at WrestleMania 6 and stretched over a year, with Jannetty's agility and relentless energy often proving to be the difference-maker in their battles. When Sato left the Federation in December 1990, the company reformed the Express by pairing Pat Tanaka with his former partner, Paul Diamond, now masked to fit the team's identity. This set the stage for an unforgettable showdown at the 1991 Royal Rumble, where Jannetty's dazzling aerial offense and never say die resilience helped deliver one of the most celebrated matches in Royal Rumble history. As highlighted earlier, at WrestleMania 7, Marty Jannetty and the Rockers squared off against the imposing duo of Haku and The Barbarian, a team known for their brute strength and hard-hitting offense. Throughout the match, Jannetty's speed and resilience kept the Rockers in the fight, skillfully evading the raw power of their opponents while setting the pace with his signature high-flying style. As the battle reached its climax, Jannetty's fierce energy helped create the opening for Shawn Michaels to soar off the top rope, delivering a flying body press on Haku for the victory, cementing another hard-fought win for the Rockers. Perhaps the most frustrating aspect of Jannetty's initial Federation run was a moment of glory that never officially happened. In October 1990, the Rockers defeated the Hart Foundation for the Tag Team Championships in a 2 out of 3 falls match. However, due to a broken ring rope, the title change was never acknowledged on television, and the belts were returned to the Hart Foundation. On a more dire note, during a tag match at the Sun Dome in December 1990, Jannetty delivered his signature rocker dropper to Chuck Austin, who tragically tucked his head instead of landing flat, instantly breaking his neck. The devastating injury left Austin paralyzed, prompting a lawsuit against Jannetty, Michaels, and Titan Sports. A court eventually awarded Austin $26.7 million, though Titan Sports later settled for $10 million, with Jannetty personally ordered to pay $500,000. 12 months later, after years of success together, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels finally came to the decision to part ways sometime in December of 1991, with their split rooted in backstage tensions, primarily over money. The details of the dispute remain murky, but according to Michaels' account, Jannetty had been led to believe that World Championship Wrestling was offering a lucrative contract, only for the promise to be exaggerated once Michaels pursued the offer, creating a wedge between the two. Jannetty, however, claims that it was Michaels who instigated the split and ultimately manipulated the situation, leaving him to take the brunt of the fallout. On screen, the brewing tension between Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels was cleverly woven into their storylines, with subtle hints of discord. During a match with Ric Flair, Jannetty innocently rolled Michaels into the ring, only to have Michaels interpret it as a deliberate attempt to cost him the victory, setting the stage for their eventual fallout. The strained partnership reached a boiling point at the 1991 Survivor Series, when Jannetty accidentally slammed one of the Nasty Boys into Michaels, leading to Shawn's elimination and further fueling the friction between the two. The culmination of this tension came in their final televised match in a title shot against the Legion of Doom, where they suffered defeat and exchanged bitter accusations, each blaming the other for the loss. It was later revealed that in May of 1991, Jannetty and Michaels had found themselves embroiled in a real-life altercation, the fallout of which was recounted in both the Heartbreak and Triumph program, as well as Michaels' autobiography. The incident, fueled by alcohol, was instigated by the legendary Roddy Piper, who, in a drunken conversation, praised Michaels' future in the business, calling him the next big thing. Feeling slighted, Jannetty confronted Michaels, and when Michaels refused to engage, Jannetty, determined not to back down, initiated a physical confrontation that quickly escalated. Piper intervened, breaking up the fight, but the situation spiraled further when police were called, leading to Jannetty's detention, though Randy Savage stepped in, claiming the incident was part of a storyline to prevent Jannetty from being jailed, despite not knowing the true cause of the altercation. Michaels, shaken by the episode, came close to quitting the Federation, and Jannetty believes this dramatic incident played a pivotal role in the decision to ultimately break up the Rockers. The dramatic final split between Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels took place on Brutus Beefcake's Barbershop segment, which aired on January 12, 1992. During the interview, which initially appeared to resolve the duo's tensions, Michaels suddenly turned on Jannetty, delivering a devastating super kick before sending him crashing through the glass window of the set. The violent betrayal was punctuated when Michaels ripped a full-page photo of the Rockers in half, symbolizing the permanent rupture between the two. The shocking moment, especially the decision to allow Jannetty to blade after the glass shattering, cemented Michaels as a loathed heel, with Jannetty's bloodied face amplifying the brutality of the turn and deepening the emotional impact on fans. Jannetty was originally set to sell the injury, sidelining him from a chance to compete for the vacant Federation Championship at the 1992 Royal Rumble. His planned return was meant to reignite the rivalry, culminating in a highly anticipated singles showdown against Michaels at WrestleMania 8. However, in the early hours of January the 25th, Jannetty was arrested in Tampa, Florida, following a confrontation with police. His 19-year-old female companion was caught using a fake ID, and when officers intervened, Jannetty escalated the situation by assaulting an officer. A subsequent search uncovered cocaine, leading to charges of drug possession, possession of paraphernalia, and resisting arrest with force. As a result, the Federation indefinitely suspended Jannetty, scrapping his recent taped singles matches from airing. In March of 1992, Jannetty was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest, and the Federation swiftly parted ways with him. With Jannetty out of the picture, Michaels' anticipated feud was abandoned, leaving him to face Tito Santana at WrestleMania 8, a bout with little build-up beyond Michaels seeking payback for his Royal Rumble elimination. Following his departure from the Federation while awaiting sentencing, Jannetty resurfaced in the United States Wrestling Association, embracing a heel persona. Under the management of Burt Prentice, he engaged in a heated rivalry with Jerry Lawler. Shortly after completing his house arrest, Jannetty re-signed with the Federation and made a dramatic return on October 12, 1992, emerging from the crowd at a taping in Saskatoon. Attempting to strike Michaels with a mirror, he instead inadvertently hit sensational Sherry when Michaels pulled her into harm's way. This set the stage for a heated showdown at the 1993 Royal Rumble, where Jannetty challenged Michaels for the Intercontinental Championship. The match carried an added layer of intrigue, as it marked Sherry's return from injury, with speculation over whose side she would take. When Michaels sought solace at ringside, Sherry shocked the crowd by slapping him, signaling her allegiance to Jannetty. However, a miscalculated interference by Sherry backfired, costing Jannetty the match. After the match, as Sherry gave a backstage interview, Michaels stormed in to confront her, only for Jannetty to ambush him in retaliation. The brawl escalated until referees and officials intervened, setting the stage for what seemed to be an inevitable rematch at WrestleMania 9. However, Jannetty was abruptly released once again amid rumors that he had been under the influence of drugs or alcohol during the match, a claim he denied. This pattern would become familiar, moments of brilliance, including a brief reign as Intercontinental Champion, but almost always followed by disappointing setbacks. Jannetty's in-ring ability never wavered. When he was on, he could still deliver matches that reminded everyone of his immense talent. A brief partnership with 1-2-3 Kid led to them capturing the tag team championships, but again, the success was short-lived. The personal demons that had always lurked in the background began to take center stage. Substance abuse issues led to missed dates, inconsistent performances, and a reputation for unreliability that would haunt his career. While Michaels, despite his own well-documented struggles with substances, managed to maintain his position at the top of the card, Jannetty found himself spiraling further down the roster before eventually departing the Federation in 1994. The following years would see Jannetty bounce between independent promotions, making occasional returns to the Federation and later WWE, but never recapturing the magic of his earlier years. Each comeback would generate excitement among fans who remembered his talent, only to end in disappointment due to another arrest or personal issue that curtailed his momentum. The tragedy of Marty Jannetty's career lies not in what he accomplished, but in what he could have accomplished. Those who worked with him consistently praise his in-ring ability. Hall of Famer Bret Hart has often cited Jannetty as one of the most naturally talented performers he ever worked with. The innovation he brought to tag team wrestling, alongside Michaels, influenced countless performers who would follow. The fast-paced, high-flying style that became prevalent in the late 1990s and beyond owed a debt to what the Rockers had done years earlier. Yet while Michaels would overcome his personal demons and cement his legacy as one of professional wrestling's greatest performers, Jannetty became wrestling's cautionary tale. His name would become shorthand for the less successful member of a tag team split. Both men possessed incredible natural talent. Both had their struggles with substances. Both had opportunities to succeed as singles competitors. But while Michaels found the strength to overcome his inner turmoil and channel his energy into becoming a singles star, Jannetty's battles outside the ring consistently undermined his opportunities inside it. The story of Marty Jannetty is more than just an instructive narrative. It's a human story about the price of fame, the cost of personal demons, and the fine line between greatness and what might have been. His contributions to professional wrestling, particularly in tag team innovation and high-flying style, deserve recognition. Yet we are left with moments of what could have been, glimpses of potential never fully realized, and reminders that in professional wrestling, as in life, talent alone is not enough to guarantee success. Speaking of success, if you're ready to revisit the moment when two of the Federation's most successful stars united to form an unforgettable tag team, then check out this video right here, The Rise and Fall of the Mega Powers. Just go ahead and click the thumbnail appearing on your screen right now, and I'll meet you there momentarily. Thank you for watching.